Do you ever just need some chocolate? One of my favorite things to eat is chocolate. You know, sometimes you gotta have some chocolate. And so today, I'm gonna share with you my recipe for sourdough einkorn chocolate bread. Ooh yeah. Sourdough einkorn chocolate bread is the perfect quick fix recipe where you can just whip up a chocolate bread and have it ready in less than an hour. Now, sourdough einkorn, because, well, the sourdough gives it a nice flavor of tang and sourdough. And einkorn I like to use if I want to make a quick bread recipe. If I don't have the time to soak it or sour it, then I use einkorn because it's really easy on the digestive system because it's an ancient grain and all, never been hybridized, so it's better for us. But if you have the time and you've thought about it ahead, you can totally mix up your sourdough starter with your einkorn flour and let it soak or sour for about 6 hours, and then add the rest of your ingredients and throw it in the oven to bake. This recipe is super adaptable to whatever you have on hand. So the recipe calls for 2 cups of applesauce, and this is my second time baking it when I recorded for this video, and so I didn't have the applesauce because my kids go through applesauce like crazy. And I had yogurt on hand, so that's what I used. But it didn't come out as moist as I would like it. I really like a moist, quick bread, so I suggest using applesauce. And the sugars, well, you can just use sucanut sugar or turbinado, whatever your favorite kind of sugar is. And today I just used a monk fruit erythritol blend because I was trying to keep the sugars down since, you know, we've been homebound, quarantined, stay home, stay alive kind of mentality lately. By the time I get out of this house, nobody's gonna recognize me. All we do is cook, bake, and eat. I really need to make it a point to get out and exercise more. So I just used some monk fruit today, but you know, whatever sugar you have on hand works too. Like I said, super simple recipe. Let's get right to it. To a large mixing bowl, add 2/3 cup einkorn flour. Now, I grind my own flour at home. I have a mock mill grain mill, and I love it. So I like to keep whole berries, wheat berries, on hand in bulk, and then I just grind my flour as I need it. Now, because this is a quick bread, you can add these ingredients in any order that you like because it really doesn't matter. I just kind of dump and stir. You know, most of the time you're supposed to do all the dry ingredients and give it a quick stir, and you can do that if you want, or you can just, as you have your ingredients laid out, dump them into your bowl in any old order. And that's what I did today, so it doesn't really matter. And then you just stir it all and mix it up really well before you bake it. 1 cup sourdough starter. It does not have to be active and bubbly. This one happened to be because of when I had fed it last, but it can be, you know, straight out of the fridge and cold. 2 cups applesauce. I happen to only have yogurt today, so that's what I used, but I really recommend the 2 cups applesauce. It really lends that really moist cake texture that I was looking for in this bread recipe. And you'll notice my yogurt is very thick because one of the kids, I was, you know, trying to get them more involved, and they were making yogurt and kind of forgot to half the recipe because we only had a half gallon of milk, and so they put in enough gelatin for a whole gallon of milk. Well, this is what you get. Really gelatinized yogurt. Still good, just very, very thick. Add 2 eggs. You can also use egg whites instead of whole eggs. And the only reason you would do this is if you're trying to keep this bread to an E-type meal. For those of you who are familiar with the Trim Healthy diet or the Trim Healthy Mama diet, it's just a plan where you separate fats and carbs and not eat them together in the same meal so that your body can better burn one fuel instead of trying to burn two fuels, because let's face it, at my age, my metabolism is only going to burn one fuel at a time. The other fuel is going to get packed on, you know, kind of get comfortable and settle in for a while and have a party. So today I used egg whites, trying to keep this to a trim healthy E bread. Add half a cup of sugar, 3/4 cup cocoa powder, half a teaspoon of baking soda, 2 teaspoons vanilla extract, half a teaspoon of real salt, 1 teaspoon of baking powder, and then just mix your batter well until all the ingredients are incorporated. Grease a loaf pan. I like to use an avocado oil spray. You can also use parchment paper. Just line your bread pan with parchment paper, but just spraying it down with some avocado spray works too. You could also grease the dish with butter or coconut oil. Bake at 350 degrees Fahrenheit for about 40 minutes. Now, my oven, the temperature kind of varies. It's very old, so normally for bread like this, it's 45 to 60 minutes, but I checked mine at 40 minutes and it was done. So, based on your oven and how how temperamental it is, just check it when you think you should check it. Does that make sense? I can't seem to talk today. In the description below, you'll find a link to the blog post where you'll find the full tutorial with instructions and a printable recipe. If you're getting on this sourdough kick lately, because like everyone's doing it, probably because it's really hard to find yeast right now in the stores. If so, I have a playlist that you can check out. I'll leave a link in the description below. My sourdough playlist where I show you how to make a starter. I got a few quick recipes on how to use your starter. So be sure to check that out. I hope you enjoyed today's tutorial. If so, give me a thumbs up and leave me a comment below. If you're new to my channel, welcome. Be sure to hit that subscribe button and bell to be notified. Each week, I bring a new video on simple food, simple living, simply handmade. Thanks so much for stopping by our amiable farmhouse.